evaluate the following. And then we have 4 division problems, now with some negative numbers. The rules for division are the same, actually, as the rules for multiplication as far as negative numbers go. When we're doing a division, if they have the same sign, the answer is going to be positive. And if they have different signs, the answer is going to be negative. So let's keep those rules in mind and go through these problems one at a time. Let's start with 64 divided by 4. We know the first number goes inside the division symbol, and then we divide. 4 goes into 6 one time. 1 times 4 is 4. We subtract to get 2. And then when we bring down the 4, 4 goes into 24 6 times, because 6 times 4 is 24. We're left with no remainder, and so our answer is 16. Good. Let's look at negative 64 divided by 4. Now here, a negative divided by a positive is going to be negative. The rule is that if they have different signs, the answer is negative. So we can start by writing negative if we want, to denote that the answer will be negative. And then we can go through the process of doing the division. 64 divided by 4. We have just done that. It is 16, same as before. So now our answer is going to be negative 16, because having a negative times a positive gives us a negative. So in this situation, we're left with negative 16. All right, let's do 2 more. Let's look at 75 divided by negative 5. Here we've got a positive divided by a negative. What's that going to be? Well, they have different signs, so we know that's going to give us a negative answer. So we can put negative there, and then we can do out the division. 75 divided by 5. 5 goes into 7 one time. 1 times 5 is 5, leaves us with a remainder of 2. We bring down the 5. 5 goes into 25 5 times, exactly. And so in the end, our answer, which we said was negative, is going to be negative 15. And then we've got one more. I'm going to do that in the bottom. Negative 118 divided by negative 2. Just a quick note, the parentheses are here because it's, I don't know if rude is the right word, but it's not really common to put a negative sign right after a division sign or a multiplication sign or an addition or a subtraction. We want to have a way to separate those just to make it look nicer. So this doesn't mean multiplication, which is something that we saw before, because that parenthesis comes after a division symbol. Just a quick note. Anyways, in this case, we have a negative times a negative. Now, if we think about what that's going to be, they have the same sign, they're both negative, so the answer is going to end up being positive. The negatives cancel each other out, similarly to what happens in multiplication. So we can ignore those negatives because we know they're going to cancel, and then just set up our division. 118 divided by 2. 2 doesn't go into 1, but it does go into 11 5 times. 5 times 2 is 10. When we subtract our remainder, there is 1. Then we can bring down the 8. 2 goes into 18 9 times. 9 times 2 is 18 exactly. Got no remainder in the end, so we've got 59. And we said our answer was going to be positive. So in this case, our final answer is positive 59.